All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Home Base Monday Night Call. I'm Terry Luongo, and it's so much fun seeing so many of you come together tonight. And this evening, we're coming together to celebrate three women who have partnered with our amazing company. And they come from three very distinct walks of life from three parts of the country, but they come together because they have some things in common. Number one, they are passionate, absolutely passionate about our mission of inspiring healthy living around the world. That's what brings us together. And all three of these women love to inspire healthy living, but they're also love moving through the marketing plan, helping families get healthy, helping other people achieve some financial peace, and helping themselves and their family with financial peace. So tonight, we're going to celebrate three women who are doing a great job with the mission. And I think you're going to be inspired, and I hope that you're inspired into action after you hear their stories. So we're going to start off with Allison Stearns. Allison comes from Savannah, Georgia. She's the mom of two almost grown kids. She's an amazing teacher. She's such a great teacher that she was voted the science ambassador for her district. So I'm going to tell you, she loves all things science. I think maybe that's one of the reasons why she came to Juice Plus. Okay, so she joined our mission a year ago. And this spring, she was promoted to sales coordinator because she took advantage of our Express to Sales Coordinator program. And I've seen her grow and go, and she's touching the lives of many people. So Allison, welcome to the call tonight.
Hey, good morning. Oh, good morning. I'm sorry. Good evening. I've been driving all day. It still feels like morning to me. But as Terry said, I'm a fifth grade teacher in Savannah, Georgia. I've been teaching for 13 years. And as you know, teachers do not make a lot of money. And on top of that, I've been a single mom for about 10 of those years. And as a single mom and teacher, I was always looking for a way to bridge the gap in income. And we did that like most teachers do, working a side job, summer camp, summer school, after school tutorial, whatever I could find. The best one is after working all day for 5 to 6 years, I went to the YMCA to work for $8.25 an hour, several times a week, to make a whopping $100 every 2 weeks and get a free membership. And that was my life for 5 to 6 years. And so this has fed my passion for teachers and for single moms. I look back on the girl that was doing this and running on empty for 5 to 6 years, and I feel bad that she wasn't aware of this opportunity sooner. And last May, I will tell you, Terry reached out to me to join her mission. But what Terry didn't know is that for years, I had been watching her on Facebook. I had been watching her post. And for those of you on the call, Amber, Nicole, Jamie, I kind of knew you because I would click on your tagged photos and I would go through your Facebook pages. So I was kind of Facebook stalking, admittedly, right? But I secretly wanted to be a part of it, but she didn't know. I wasn't liking her posts, too much. I wasn't commenting. And I'm not even sure if she knows this, but I had mentioned to my mom, which is Terry's sister, and my brother numerous times over the past several years, just in conversation, oh my gosh, I'm really considering joining Terry on the mission. And it would just be a comment, and then a few months later, I would say it again, but Terry wasn't aware of any of this. So when she called me last year to join the mission, I actually let her call go to voicemail. And I texted her, I listened to her message, and I'm sure she was completely shocked that my response was, hey, I'm headed to bed, but yes, I'm in. I'll call you tomorrow. And she must have been shocked because we've never talked about the business together, really. But since then, I did my HLP in 30 days. I did my VF in 60, and I was growing, but not really fast. I was being a teacher, doing what I do in the classroom, and just kind of working the business when, my stolen opportunities. But when Terry called me and told me that they were doing the express track to sales coordinator, I wrote it everywhere, you guys. Everywhere I had paper and pencil, I wrote sales coordinator by March 31st on everything. Every day I would wake up and I would go through and I would make note of my goal, make note of each step I needed to reach that goal for my team and for myself, down to PVC points, down to customers. I was very strategic with it. And the last couple weeks of March, I am certain I drove Terry and my sidelines crazy because I had like 6 Facebook parties in 2 weeks. And of course, I was asking for help and we were all inviting people, but it was a crazy time, but we did it. And Sonya and I worked closely together, talking several times a day, but I grew my business with Facebook. I really did. I had a lot of Facebook parties. I still do, keeping people informed with Transform and circling back around to people who told me no, who ignored me. I just kept circling back, and I really didn't pay much attention to the no's because that's not the answer I was looking for. So, okay, no right now. I'm going to find my yes, and then a month later, I'm coming back to ask you again, right? But anyway, my message to you is that you don't know who's watching. People are watching. You may not be getting the likes, you may not be getting the comments, but Terry had no idea that I had been watching her, but she reached out to me. And so reach out to people, just ask. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. And I just am so thankful that Terry keeps telling me to dream bigger, because last year at this time, I couldn't dream past making a couple extra $100 a month because it was never part of my plan for me at the time. But now I keep dreaming bigger, and that is my wish for all of you, that you keep dreaming bigger. So thank you for letting me share. Have a great night.
Oh, Allison, thank you so much. And the crowd goes wild. Allison, guys, can you see why she's working through the marketing plan? She's self-motivated, she's disciplined, and she doesn't wait for me. She jumps in. If I'm not there to give her the answer, she goes to find it. Thank you, Allison. All right, so our next girl on fire is a woman who comes to us because of a different need. Remember, our job is to find the want, the need, and the desire. And Sonya comes to us with a different need. And she's a wife and a mom from Newton, Massachusetts. Prior to being a Juice Plus professional, okay, she was in advertising, PR. Get this, she was an account executive with the Food Network in New York City. Talk about diversified backgrounds, right? Then she left that because she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And so everybody, her and Allison are like sideline partner buddies, and they support each other. I love that relationship. Sonya, welcome to the call. And why did you say yes to Juice Plus and this mission? Love to hear from you.
Thank you so much, Terry, for that great introduction. Can you hear me okay?
Fabulous.
Okay, I'm really excited to be here to share my story. And I'm going to start with just saying that, I used to think that being healthy really had more to do with exercising and being active than diet and nutrition. I'm lucky enough, I reside in Newton. I've been here almost 4 years, but I am originally from California. So I've always been very active outdoors. I love dancing, swimming, biking, and I never really struggled with any weight issues or food conditions, growing up. And that took me into my young adulthood, and working out was what I thought made us healthy. It wasn't until April 10th, 2016, that my world was rocked. Terry told you I've been married almost 16 years. I have 3 young kids. Our oldest at the time was almost 9. And we ended up taking him to the ER because he had a lump in his side. And it had been there a few days, and I noticed it had gotten bigger. So that ER visit that night quickly turned into multiple tests and scans and blood work. And, as a parent, when they start doing all that, it just is not a good sign. My husband had actually been there by himself, but when he texted me, they were doing all that. I left my twins with our parents who were here, and I went over. We left that night knowing that he had a tumor, a mass. They called it a mass in his left kidney, and that we needed to return the next day for more tests. I'll just say a few of the details, but as I sat there hearing this, it's like your head starts spinning. You're trying to absorb all the information the doctor's telling you. And I was trying to be strong because my son was lying there in that bed, and I didn't know if he could hear me, and I was not going to cry. My husband was breaking down, but I said, he's going to be okay. I just know it. I know it. He's going to be okay. We went the next day. My son is a baseball player. He's always loved baseball. Of course, it's the opening day of Fenway, and his beloved Red Sox, who he's been a fan of since birth. The whole Jimmy Fund, Dana-Farber, was decorated with fat heads, and all the nurses were dressed in their Red Sox uniforms, and we saw the oncologists and the nurses and the social worker, and they basically laid it out for us. Daniel didn't go home that night. We went in for surgery, and he had his left kidney removed in a 9-hour surgery. And that was the start of our new life, basically. We found out it was cancer, but it was very treatable cancer. It was rare but treatable cancer, and he was on his journey to a 7-day recovery in the hospital and then an 18-week chemo plan. So as a mother, my job was really to hold down the fort and take care of everyone and make sure that everything was running smoothly as we could. I wish I could tell you I had heard about Juice Plus while Daniel was going through chemo, but it wasn't until he was in remission that my best friend introduced me to it. And she shared that this was something she took every single day. And she's a cancer survivor herself. My immune system was shot after sleepless nights, taking care of him, just holding the world on my shoulders for 6 months and trying to be everything I could for my family. So I didn't really need a lot of information. I think Camelia called me a few times to say, when do you think that you can watch that video? And I never did. I'm a woman of faith, and faith is what got me through those hard days of watching my son fight cancer. And faith is what led me to Juice Plus. I don't think anything happens out of coincidence. I think, it wasn't a coincidence that Daniel went in there. We moved to Boston, first of all, one of the greatest places for medical care, 8 months prior to him being diagnosed. I don't think it was a coincidence that we went to the Jimmy Fund on opening day of Fenway for Daniel to be excited and know this was a special place. And I don't think it was a coincidence that I had signed up to register to ride by my bike 163 miles for cancer research before Daniel was even diagnosed. So I continue to do that today. I said yes because I want to help as many families as I can realize that they can be proactive with their health, and that being healthy starts on the inside, has everything to do with our diet and nutrition. And I did not know that. And so I really want to help inspire other families to know that is absolutely intrinsically related, but also to be the hope for them that hopefully they don't have to endure something like this, not wait for a family crisis. And as a mom, I had let my self-care go, and I realized that saying yes to this mission meant putting myself first again so I could take better care of my kids and my family. And I had always wanted to do something more. I chose to stay home because I was lucky enough that I could. My husband traveled all the time. We traveled to many cities, and I relocated the family multiple times. And ever since, I wanted to get back into something for myself. And this was absolutely the answer. I called Camelia up and I said one day, I think I want to do this. And I remember the excitement that I had driving to our first boot camp in Connecticut. I was solo. I think I was crying because it's the first time I'd been alone for that long, driving an hour and a half, but also because I was just filled with utter excitement and joy and nervous and energy, hoping that this was the answer. And I'm blessed to be part of this amazing community. All of you inspire me daily and, really fill me up. This community is nothing that I've ever experienced before. And I look forward to being part of this for a very long time. Thank you.
Oh, Sonya, thank you for sharing. Look, I mean, what a call tonight. This is a family reunion. Thank you. And I know that your children are doing well, and I know that you're on fire to touch families. We're so glad that you're a part of our team. Thank you for sharing your story tonight. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hear from Rachel Barkley. And Rachel, it's very special. Rachel, at this past conference in Sacramento, was promoted to and acknowledged and celebrated on the main stage as being a brand new senior sales coordinator. And that is such a big, big deal. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about her. Rachel Barkley is a special lady. She comes from Mount Pleasant, Texas, okay? Yesterday, she celebrated her 7th anniversary, and I know this because I saw a post that her husband did, Drew, celebrating her. And it was such a beautiful post. It just absolutely so touched and warmed my heart. She's the mom of 3, and when I say gorgeous children, I mean, this is a beautiful family, okay? Her background, well, she was always fitness, fitness, fitness. From fitness, she went into education. And from education, she's now a masterful, inspired yoga instructor. And so I want you to hear her story. Rachel, thank you for being with us tonight. You've had an amazing journey. I know that you partner with Holly beautifully. You guys make a great team. Tell us why you said yes, and what's this Juice Plus experience been like for you?
Yeah. Okay. Well, first, thanks for having me, and thanks Allison and Sonya for sharing. I love the fact that we can learn from everybody, right? People starting in the business to people who have just reached different positions to everybody who's up and has been doing this business for years and years. So I love hearing everybody's stories. So why did I say yes to the product and the business at the same time is what I ended up doing. At the time, about 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago this fall, I had an 11-month-old son who had been very sick for his first year of life. He was chronically constipated and in and out of the doctor's office, it seemed like every 6 to 8 weeks, with ear infections and on antibiotics. And I felt guilty putting him on antibiotics, and he'd break out in a rash and I'd take him off, and it was a mess. At the time I was teaching algebra to a group of freshmen and not able to put together coherent sentences because Beckett wasn't sleeping in the middle of the night, and so neither was I. And he would cry when he'd have a bowel movement. I was just like an emotional, frustrated, exhausted mother. And we had already decided, my husband and I, were both teachers. We were both teachers at the time. I'm no longer a teacher, but we had already decided I would stay home with the kids. The following year, we'd really focus in on helping Becca get healthy. And that fall of me staying home, I'm in a Bible study, and plops down right next to me is Holly Morris. And we just connected on a lot of different levels and began to build a friendship. And I'm sure it may not have been right away, but I was sharing just like my frustration and just lack of hope in helping Becca get healthy. I had tried all kinds of things to help him get healthy. And she threw out there, have you ever considered that Juice Plus might help him? And I had heard of Juice Plus. Sisters on both sides of my family had taken Juice Plus. One vegan, one ate whatever in the world, and both of them believed in Juice Plus for their families. And so I was just like, give it to me. I trusted Holly. I trusted my sisters that it would be a quality product, and did a little bit of research, but it didn't take much convincing. And so I just started taking Juice Plus myself, and Beckett started getting Juice Plus through breast milk, through nursing. And very quickly I saw his digestion change, and he began sleeping through the night. And that was like the first shift. I was like, hallelujah, I'm getting some rest. And so I don't know how quickly it was into that, 2 weeks in, 3 months in, I realized he's not having the drainage. We haven't gone back to the doctor. 6 months in, a year in, he's not been on a prescription, and that story has just continued because he's by far one of the healthiest kids in his age group. You know, he still goes to Mother's Day out, is surrounded by all the germs, and still hasn't been on a prescription. I'm really quick to tell parents we've made a lot of health adjustments for him. We've taken out dairy, and we've learned a lot from this Juice Plus community. And so it's not that it's just a solution to prescriptions, but every child needs that foundation for nutrition. And at the same time, I hopped on board with the business because you guys know Holly Morris. Like, I was just like, yeah, I want to partner with you. Why not? So I hopped on board. I knew she and Ryan were partnering with Pure Hope Foundation. I was just like, if I can build a business leg under you, sure. I had already started teaching yoga classes out of a little space that I was renting, and to try to bridge our financial gap, because we were now living on one teacher's salary, a coach's salary. And very quickly, I built a small customer base and a consistent paycheck, and it was just really easy to share. And so really easy to share because as a personal trainer first, and then as a yoga instructor, like my answers to people when they asked about nutrition help was always, well, eat clean, whole food. And so Juice Plus went right along with that, right? It's food. And so it's super fit right in with my belief about food. And then about 6 months, somewhere between 6 months to a year in, we were doing our taxes. And we were at this place where Beckett's health was shifting and changing and so much better. But I was working evening hours with personal clients and multiple classes, not just a week, but per night. And so my daughter, who was 9 at the time, was coming home from school, and I was leaving to go teach classes. And she was 6 to 8 months in, like, you're leaving again. You have another client. Can I have time with you? You know, she was very just direct. I recognized she was the one missing out now. And we went to do our taxes, and I realized I've been making a consistent income with Juice Plus. What? It's passing my yoga income. What? You know, and so it's really an interesting shift mentally, because there was something in me that almost felt guilty not exchanging hours for dollars. Like, it was so ingrained in me. I need to be working hours in order to make money. Otherwise, it just feels like I'm taking advantage of the system or something. It's too good to be true. I don't know what's going on. So it took me a little while to like lay down in the classes and realize I don't have to teach these classes if I don't want to, you know, and I can pick and choose the classes even if the attendance is low, or I can pick just one client at a time. And I don't have to teach multiple clients after school hours, you know? And so the blessing that it has been to our family and me as a mom is just tremendous. And God knew exactly what we would need, of course, financially, before I ever saw it as a solution for our family to bridge the gap, living on one teacher's salary.
You know, Rachel, that, you know, I love your story. I love your passion. I want to ask you something. Okay, this, you know, SSC, Senior Sales Coordinator, this means that the company recognizes you as a leader. It's a big deal. It's a big deal to be recognized as a leader. And I'm seeing, you know, I pulled up today online, I pulled up your last PVC report. You are leading an amazing team, girl. I see when I'm looking at this report, you're already getting, you know, build wide, serve deep. And so many of the reps on the call tonight are, you know, new or VF or sales coordinator, and they all want senior sales coordinator. All right, what advice as a leader, because you know, the title says, you know, senior sales coordinator, leadership position. You are leading. You're earning every penny of that paycheck because you are leading. What kind of advice would you give these girls in terms of guiding them so that they can also get to the position that you're at?
Well, I do have an amazing team. I've seen several of them on the call tonight, and so I just want to give a shout out to them because they're awesome, and I just love working with them so much. And I'm sitting here looking at Holly Morris right now, and I just have to say, like, if you don't have an upline that's active or or it doesn't even have to be nearby. There are such amazing people in this business. Find yourself a leader in the business and get under them and just ask them, pick their brain and ask them for help, right? Like Holly is such a gift, you know, and so I'm so thankful for her leadership, because every time I ask myself, what do I need to be doing different? I think back, okay, what did Holly do with me when I first started? And so when I look at leading team, I think back over, okay, what did Holly do with me? Okay, she, you know, called me up and said, let's go to lunch. Let's look at your business. Let's have some girl time and let's just chat. And so even if it's not like you can do that one-on-one with people because you live in the same area, like let's get a Zoom call going. Let's sit down and have coffee over Zoom and let's chat. I want to hear how you're doing and I want to look at your business. And she did that with me over and over and over. And so really with my team, I would say that was a big shift when I realized that, oh my goodness, I need to be just walking a little bit more hand in hand with them as we launch them. And as I impart that leadership to them to help them start walking hand in hand with their team. So that's one thing that I think is big. When I first started the business, I did not walk hand in hand with my reps. And it's not saying like I did everything with them, but we're having regular checkups and regular check-ins and trying to help and let people know they're part of a community, right? That's one of the best things about this business is the community and the culture. And I hear that routinely from my team. I love, if nothing else, I love the community. I love the culture. I love the relationships. And so I think that that's so important. Second, like one thing that has been resounding in my mind lately is like, keep it simple. You follow a system and you teach others how to follow the system. I probably started the business and I am not a system follower by nature. Like I want to create and do all my add in like my fluff and make it complicated, really is what I want to do in the end, is make things complicated. But we just held a resourced and ready meeting just this month. And all we did was missiondriven.info, share, care, build. How do we share? How do we follow up? How do we do excellent customer care? How do we build team, invite to team, and teach them to do the same thing? And just repeat, 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 keep it simple. And that like goes along with just sharing the business. Like I got down to, okay, keep it simple. We're starting with HLP. How do I go hand in hand with you? We just HLP, then VF. I'm not overwhelming you. Like keep it as simple as possible because people right off the bat are busy and a lot of times they're not open to hearing a full plan to NMD, right? And so we just started walking really simply, step by step, all together.
Rachel, thank you for that. And also, I just want to share with everybody that another reason why the three of you are working through the marketing plan is that you show up. And you show up. And Rachel, I remember 3 years ago, you trained for me at Assault. You were pretty new, and I threw you in front of 100 people. And I remember your knees were knocking, and you were so scared, and you did a magnificent job. And you know, Allison and Sonya and Rachel, every time you stand up and every time you speak, your belief grows in yourself. And as your belief grows in yourself, your self-esteem goes up, but your self-image expands. And then you become, believe it or not, even more attractive, and then people respond to you. So I want to thank all three of you for showing up tonight. This was a spectacular family reunion home-based call. And I thank each and every one of you. And next Sunday night, I have the amazing Jill Herman is going to be with us. Main stage conference speaker. She's going to be with us next Monday night. Guys, thank you for being with me tonight. This is like, this was important to me tonight because I'm by myself in Oregon and this is family reunion for me. So thank you. I love you. Know you're loved. Know you're appreciated. Good night, everybody. Sweet dreams.
Thanks, Terry. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Night.
Good job, Rachel and Sonya.
Oh, they were great.
They're
Awesome job,
awesome.
ladies.
Allison, you rock. You girls were amazing.
You were awesome.
Nobody wants to hang up. Bye.
Bye, Terry.